You touched on social media. I do wanna move us into that ballpark. You're as everyone knows, you are, one of the biggest. We're not here to obviously stroke your ego, but fact is fact. Joel
biggest.
is
Just leave
Joel
it at biggest.
is we're just the big, not one of the biggest, the biggest. Joel is the biggest. You're a huge name on multiple platforms. If people don't know you personally, they know of you. The memes are recognized on the feed, but behind the laughter and the giggles, you're a genuine guy. I'd love to pick your brain on social media. We can narrow it to recruiters more specifically. If moving forward, what do you think is the future of social media, LinkedIn content creation? Do you think recruiters more are trickling onto that bandwagon? Do you think that recruiters need to be jumping into that game more and more? And then just talk to us about kind of what do you think the future of LinkedIn is as far as content creation and recruiters.
Yeah, the future of LinkedIn. The content gets worse.
Tell us the prophecy. Tell us the prophecy, Joe.
Agree. Thoughts. Look, I mean, I think like here's one of the funniest things. Like, I do have a big network, right? I mean, there's a lot of people in that network, but I still find there's so much value in just having those offline conversations, and that's actually where like I actually think like I mean I know so many people, like I'm talking hundreds and probably thousands of people I've had interactions with offline off the platforms, and so. Yeah, and it's like now we just have gone through a really weird time in history, obviously too, with COVID and the pandemic, and like a lot of people got isolated and they went to social media. And what I'm really interested to see is like one of my goals for this next year is to go to more conferences and these events. And I'm not like really a conferencey type person because I just think I'm direct and like. I like to have fun and all those types of things, but like I don't love like forced interaction, right, all the time. Mm-hmm. So, but that's going to be interesting. But I think where I see social media being the most powerful again is it's just we got to shift our view away from like audience size, views, metrics, all those types of things. And I think if you're anybody who's just a normal professional that's you're looking for different ways to reach people, then that's where having a strategy across social media platforms and understanding where the best time to spend is important. And it doesn't need to suck away all your time, but it's just this idea of like right now it's just us three having this conversation. Everybody else who's listening to it afterward, they're like involved in the conversation. So yeah, we just spent we're gonna spend an hour together having this conversation, but it could get listened to for hundreds of hours, thousands of hours.
Exactly.
And so I just think that like if you're looking to stay in recruiting and be in recruitment in the future, mastering video is just key. And this is like the same if you're in sales, if you're in marketing. I just think understanding how to produce video content is huge. And then the next skill is just understanding basic marketing funnels. Like how are you using content to create awareness, and then how are you driving people to get to make that decision of whether or not they want to work with you or not work with you. So I think more and more recruiters are going to jump on this bandwagon. They already are. But I think if you want to stay that step ahead, typing on LinkedIn is easy. Okay. Twitter content is easy. It's just copy is way, way too easy. And I think you can.
Especially with AI now. With AI.
And I see the funny thing is I copy and paste posts that I think are done by ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, did you write this? And it's always like, yes, I wrote this. Even when they change it around.
I didn't think about that. I'm going to try that.
Joel. Put the pressure on.
I mean, look, and I'm just saying like the video and just this understanding. And I think like getting away from like huge numbers and just focusing on like smaller results. So you want to attract a bunch of software engineers and you want to relate with them and figure out what kind of content they're into, get into their world and start providing just like a great example of someone I think who in our space is just doing a great job. Probably one of the better jobs out of most people I know is Taylor Desson over at Vaco. And he's getting like keynotes at tech conferences.
Yep.
Right. He's not like in the recruit. He's not in like the recruiting. Well, he's got Recruiters Anonymous, but he's more like, and he's just got such a good system. Like he's doing vlogs on TikTok, and he's all over the place. But he's not like going viral necessarily on like every post. So I think we just got to get away from that idea and realize like this is how you interact with people. Maybe your candidates aren't at that age right now, but you know what? In 5 years, 10 years, they will be. So learn how to interact now and like how to build an audience, how to connect. And it's not all about audience size. Honestly, it's about how connected are you with a group of people that you can work with, get business from, you can recruit. That's the goal. And that's going to shift over time as well.
Yeah, I don't think there is another profession. You know, you mentioned sales, marketing. Yeah, I think those make sense as well. But I don't think there's another profession out there where video content makes more sense. Because like you said, I mean, our goal is connection. And another layer to that is building integrity and trust with our ideal candidate group, right? I guess if you're an agency, maybe your client group. But video, and Joel, you and I have talked about this online as well, is video is a separator, right? Video is a way to introduce yourself, to build trust and validity in your space without ever having to hop on a call with somebody or shake their hand in person. It's a way to kind of break down that first wall that we all have to get through from a recruitment standpoint in a lot of ways. I'm glad you mentioned Taylor, because I do think he is doing a great job with that. And he's who came to my mind as well.